One day in the year 1188 AD in the southern Song dynasty, a thick memorial was delivered to the imperial palace. By the time it reached the emperor's chamber, it was already midnight. Emperor Xiaozong of Song, upon receiving the memorial, got out of his bed and finished reading the 10,000-word sealed memorial of the year 1188. The long document was a critical commentary on the 6 priorities of the court. Emperor Xiaozong's 27 years of irresponsibility, as manifested in his misguidance of the imperial family and his abuse of government officials. At the time, Emperor Xiaozong, who called himself the monk in the palace, had been thinking about abdicating from the throne. Presumptuous and direct though the memorial was, the emperor had no choice but to be tolerant of the slight. How, after all, could he punish a man whose loyalty and devotion shone through in every word? In the era of the southern Song dynasty, ancient Tong'an, located in the south of modern-day Fujian province, was part of Xuanzhou. In the year 1153 AD, 24-year-old Zhu Xi became sub-prefectural registrar of Tong'an. His arrival in Tong'an was for him a shock, as for the first time he saw the stark contrast between the lives led by the rich and the powerful and the multitudes living in poverty. The benevolent young man right away became determined to make the world a better place. He even changed the name of his office into Hall of Care and Love.
他那个主簿其实是要协助那个县令去征收那个赋税的。另外，他当时呢，其实还监管过县里边的学校。那么那些学校的考试的制度，他也进行过一些调整。另外呢，还带着修过一些堤坝呀什么。所以他其实，在那个同安呢，干的事情是不少的。
Official records showed Zhu Xi that the southern Song dynasty was facing all kinds of problems. For example, he found that the imperial court was taking a total of over 17 million strings of copper coins yearly from the people via various additional taxes. This amount was twice the annual revenue of the Tang dynasty that preceded the Song dynasty. Zhu Xi's anxious reports advising the imperial court to rectify the urgent taxation problem fell on deaf ears. Zhu Xi had no alternative but to reform the system himself, starting with the governing system of Tong'an. With this in mind, he formulated a strict and thorough regulatory system to prevent government corruption. In the second month of the year 1155, he had his poem on the granary wall put up. It stressed selflessness and public service and warned officials against greed.
他跟上面那个理论，上面不批，他还甚至把上面那个中央那大官啊臭骂一通，还叫他你要给我好好去看什么书，他这个都敢写。
他同安任上，他发明了就是一个3联单的制度，这个也非常有趣，就是他把老百姓要交的那个税，写成3个那个小纸条，一个是留在这个信匣里面，一个是公布张榜贴起来，一个就给老百姓，老百姓知道他要交多少税，然后你交了税以后，这边就很快得到一个很好的一个管理。 这是最早的那种3联单制度和那个税务公开制度。
Zhu Xi knew that in order to make headway in his scheme of reform, he would need a household name as a model, and Su Song, once Chancellor of the Northern Song dynasty, happened to be the best-known local sage. Zhu Xi thus started to extol Su Song's financial probity and personal integrity.
他认为苏颂最值得学习的就是非常正直。第二个呢，苏颂也很注重这个教育，希望说我们所谓的学子应该像苏颂一样，就做人呢要有原则。所以，比如说朱熹，这个跟他后来的思想形成都有很大的关系。他编的很著名的那个《大学》嘛，里面第一句话就是这个要治国平天下。大概这个体系我自己感觉是完全也是跟他到同安进入那种仕途有很大的关系。
他从教育这个角度上理解，所以盖那个苏松祠的话，他就是为了加强这个地方的教育，以苏颂为榜样。
The Su Song Memorial Hall, built under Zhu Xi's supervision, remains in Tong'an to this day. Throughout the entire process of its design and construction, Zhu Xi took an active part. Besides his practical contribution, he wrote 5 articles in a row praising Su Song's nobility and integrity. Su Song's exemplary character has been engraved in the hearts of Tong'an natives ever since.
的10月要离开同安的时候，如果离开同安县城的时候，那这条就是当时的这个张前古道，所以老百姓，读书人从同安的县城一直送。他当时朱熹呀是坐那个马车的啊，朱熹没有我没有看过他坐轿子的啊，那是坐这个马车，就是送到小营岭这边。小营岭这边过去那就是属于南安了，就属于南安了，这边还属于这个同安的，所以一直送到这里，都舍不得他离开同安，所以到这边就有个坡，都舍不得离开，板着他那个车沿，就是说不忍让他离去。
这个经历在朱熹整个的这个人生里边呢，其实是占的分量很重的。虽然这是一个很小的，就是当年的这个地方官的一个最基础的一个职位，但是朱熹呢，在后来，你比如说，我们看到他跟他的那个学生谈话的那个《诸子语类》里边，大量的是跟那些学生说，我在同安的时候是怎么做的。
In the year 1163, the Southern Song dynasty underwent radical changes when Emperor Gaozong, Zhao Go, abdicated. But the reign of the new Emperor Xiaozong did not get off to a good start when a hasty northern campaign ended in defeat. In the summer of the same year, as danger approached, the imperial court encouraged all scholar officials to present sealed memorials concerning state affairs. In autumn, Zhu Xi decided to present himself at court in person. He'd come to put forward a controversial proposition to Emperor Xiaozong that the chief danger for the state did not lie at the borders, but right in the court. What he didn't know was that negotiations between the Southern Song and the Zhuqianjin were then in progress. Two months later, 34-year-old Zhu Xi presented himself to the imperial court for the first time. But Xiao Zong, still licking his wounds after defeat in the northern campaign, was in no mood for lectures from Zhu Xi. In fact, the more Zhu Xi talked about not giving in to the Jin and the wrongs of inaction and favoritism, the more impatient the emperor became. The next day, the emperor indicated his displeasure by offering Zhu Xi the bizarre position of military professor.
隆庆元年授这个朱熹文物学博士，我认为是一种这个不重视他的表现，并不一定说是羞辱还是侮辱，不是这个意思，就是不重视你，你说的意见我也不采纳，就授你一个这样不重视的官。可是朱熹根本就没有接受，请此去，他就不拜，没去上任。
朱熹跟孝宗的关系啊，也是很微妙的。总的来讲呢，宋孝宗啊是不喜朱熹的。宋孝宗这一个人，他呢是好佛道，第二呢是聪性，那是宁性，第三呢，他不好理学，他认为理学是清谈。清谈要误国的，那这个都是同朱熹啊对立的。
Being cold-shouldered at his first meeting with the emperor was upsetting for Zhu Xi. But with the peace formula becoming a done deal, Zhu Xi was beginning to feel helpless. Worse was to come. His teacher, Li Tong, passed away. So in the winter, Zhu Xi asked for leave and left the capital to return to Fujian for his teacher's funeral. Even when back at home in Wufu, never for a second did Zhu Xi lose sight of the bigger picture, the country's plight, and the suffering of its people. In the spring of the year 1168, a flood took place in Fujian's Jianyang, Chong'an, and Puchang. The devastation caused by the flood quickly became something much more serious: famine. Even though Zhu Xi was no longer in office, he nevertheless pressurized local officials and gentry into doing something. He succeeded in gathering enough grain from the granary of Jianning Superior Prefecture and rich local households to establish a communal granary in Wufu to get locals through the famine.
社仓它基本上运作是这样的，朱熹的原来的设想就是政府先借给我一笔钱，或者借给我一些粮食、谷子然后我就存在这个社仓里面去。然后比如说今年这个闹灾荒，就把这个粮食就借给老百姓，然后老百姓到秋后收成的时候就还回来，适当加一点利息，它还是有点利息的，这样子就是使得老百姓就说能够这个度过这个灾荒时期。然后这个因为有点利息嘛，然后就经营了3、4年以后，也许就本就有了嘛，然后把这个本还给官府。这个是朱熹设计社仓的一个基本内容。
Sitting by the Tanqi River in Wufu, the communal granary founded by Zhu Xi in the 12th century functioned as a non-governmental granary until the 1970s. 10 years after its foundation, the granary reached break-even point. Moreover, the total amount of grain stockpiled reached 150 tons. That meant that in Wufu, with a population of about 3,000 people, each resident had an average 50 kilos of grain held in reserve, and that was a considerable amount back then. These communal granaries were hailed as one of Confucianism's economic miracles. And 14 years later, the Southern Song Court made Zhu Xi's Master Zhu on managing communal granaries the blueprint for a nationwide policy. The economic system initiated by Zhu Xi had now become state policy.
它是一个慈善的组织、慈善的机构、慈善的行为，我认为呢是恰当的。当时的社会没有社会的救济制度，也没有社会的慈善制度，也没有社会的保障制度。那么在这种状况下面，组织用收藏这种方法来帮助当时的受灾的农民度过饥荒，实际上起到了一个社会保障的作用。它的作用是非常明显的。
他提出设仓的设想的时候，他并不是真正负责地方事务，但是说明呢，这个儒者呢，他的关心啊，不是仅仅是书本上经典上的学问，他也关注他周围生活、周围的这个生活的这种需要，所以这个应该是一个代表。
In ancient China, today's Lushan city in Jiangxi province, with its amazing natural landscapes, was known as Xingzi County, and in the southern Song dynasty, it was part of Nankang Military District, Jiangnan East Circuit. In the year 1179, after 2 decades of seclusion, Zhu Xi, urged by the court, accepted office for the second time in his life as prefect of Nankang Military District. But as a Confucian official, how was he going to make Confucianism work?
他到那里以后呢，首先就发了一个叫《知南康军版文》，其中第2条要求老百姓啊、长老啊，经常集会来教育他们的子孙，尊老爱幼啊等等这么一些遗风艺术。再一个呢，就是整顿了县学，重新修建了北龙的书院。
Besides educating the public, another thing that Zhu Xi did was to enrich the people. With that aim in mind, he forwarded 5 consecutive memorials asking the imperial court to reduce taxes and take action against the sale of official positions. He also published proclamations to restrict unscrupulous well-to-do families and corrupted officials.
他到那儿以后就发现这个豪强霸占土地很厉害，他也做了一件事情，就是抓了一批豪强。 抓了一批豪强，当时还有人劝阻止，说是你要小心，这些人都有势力的。他说他要坚持，要为这个备受侵害的老百姓这个讲话嘛。
在去县学的路上呢，就发现一个叫官二代策马送马啊，把一个小孩呢踏伤了。这个朱熹呢看到这个情况以后呢，就命令把他关押到这个军府里去，明天来审理他，考治如法，也就要打武士大棍。
有人跟朱子说，他说人家是一个官宦子弟，是一个读书人的子弟，你何苦要对他动刑呢？那么朱子他说，事关人命啊。
While in office in Nankang Military District, Zhu Xi was constantly bothered and irritated by social problems triggered by political corruption. In his second year of office, he submitted his sealed memorial of the year 1180. The memorial put forward 3 major proposals: correction for the emperor, administration of officials, and reassurance for the public. It centered around removing villains and righting the throne. The memorial was no doubt the first straightforward and harsh criticism Emperor Xiaozong had received in the 20 years since he had come to the throne.
朱熹呢，在这个上封事之前，他自己是预感到孝宗是会不高兴的，会发怒的，所以呢，他在上封事不久呢，他就给吕祖谦写了一封信。在吕祖谦这个封信里面呢，讲这个生死祸福，由其至也。随他，我只不过是这个有2、3担行李，有小儿这只在于身边，没什么，无所谓。
我想史学界都一致承认，宋代呢相对来说是最为开明的一个时期。那么因为它的开明呢，所以士大夫呢，他的这个发言的空间比较大。从这个欧阳修的那个时候呢，就会说士大夫呢是开口揽时事，论议争煌煌，就是 国家的这样的一些对内对外的重要的大政方针，他们都认为他们是有责任、有义务在这上边发生的。
At the very beginning of the Song dynasty, Emperor Taizong set a rule for his successors to follow. No scholar officials should be killed for their harsh comments on state affairs. This set the stage for a political scene in which the Song emperors governed hand in hand with scholar officials. Thanks to the wise precedents set by his ancestor, when he read Zhu Xi's words, Emperor Xiaozong could only keep his anger to himself. But he had his own way of getting even. He simply ignored Zhu Xi. Had he not been preoccupied by the drought that struck the entire Nankang region, Zhu Xi might have been more dismayed by the emperor's indifference.
朱熹面对着灾荒呢，非常有办法。第一，他先告诉老百姓，张榜告诉老百姓，不要留遗，不要出去。第二，不要聚众闹事，等待着朝廷一定会来救灾的，就是先安顿老百姓。第二个，筹集钱款。
In the face of the drought, Zhu Xi wrote hundreds of memorials and articles persuading the imperial court to waive outstanding taxes and agree to let him keep the 450 tons of grain for post-disaster famine relief. He also gained permission to spend public funds to procure around 600 tons of rice from other places and sell them in Nankang. This prevented the price of rice soaring during the post-disaster period.
他管理的非常到位，他也害怕当时有些官员克扣救灾款，或者说是出现其他的这个情况，他派当时在这3个县的这些官员，包括监税官，包括一些天差官，全部出动监督，一个县派一个人，在那盯着来发放。比如同时你这个粮食拿出来，平价卖给这一天同时的了卖。 另外，你这个县官干啥了？你说县级的官员干啥了？县级官员下去巡查，看那儿又出现的情况没有。
Irrigation systems are key to mitigating drought and flood. As the situation eased, Zhu Xi applied for appropriation of funds and recruited workers to raise the height of the Bagpai Lake southwest of the Xingzi county seat by around 90 centimetres. In addition, reservoirs and irrigation canals were constructed. In memory of Zhu Xi, later generations named the bank Ziyang, Zhu Xi's alternative name.
南康军是发生了旱灾，后来又发生了水灾，所以呢，朱子觉得就是必须要，从根本上解决这个问题呢，就是要治理河道，所以他当年就是动用了民力，修了一个堤。这个堤的修复呢，就避免了这个南康军后来的这个频繁的发生旱灾和这个涝灾的这样一个情况。
把这身强力壮的招过来去兴修水利。第一个，身强力壮的解决了这个吃粮问题吧。第二个，同时兴修水利，就算说呢，以工代赈。 当时宋孝宗呢就说他这个救灾做得非常好，为此呢，宋孝宗还这个提拔他做这个执迷阁。
In the year 1181, Zhu Xi finished his tenure in Nankang and returned to his former residence in Wufu after 2 years' absence. At the time, he was applauded for his innovative approaches to famine relief around the Yangtze. However, soon after, worse natural disasters caused by floods and droughts took place in eastern Zhejiang. Because of his stellar performance in disaster mitigation in Nankang, Zhu Xi's name was the first one to pop up in the mind of incumbent Chancellor Wang Huai. Later that year, Zhu Xi was appointed intendant for granaries, tea and salt for the Liangzhe East Circuit.
提举呢就是负责的意思，长平察盐公事呢，其实这个主要的呢是帮助政府收税的吧。另一项职任呢，就是他要监督这个地方的官员，就是他下面的那样的州县一级的地方官员，所以呢，他也是监司。长平我们知道是跟那个物资分配的均衡啊，跟这些有关系的。那么朱熹当年呢被任命为这个提举长平察盐公事，是因为浙东路那个地方呢其实是有灾荒的，是有灾荒。那么让他呢做这个职务，他一路上呢其实就是要去调查
人的所有的生命欲望。你比如说，人要吃饭，说人要睡觉，这个饮食男女，这个是正常的、自然的，这个不是要去掉的人欲。要去的呢是人心里边的一个部分，这个部分呢就是不符合道德那个欲望，这个叫人欲。从这个意义上来讲，道德基本原则和那些感性欲望之间的紧张是永远存在的，而道德的本质就是要用道德原则来约束那些感性的欲望。这不是儒家的一家的是这样讲的，我们在西方哲学看的很多，西方最典型的就是康德的伦理学主要就是讲理性和感性的这种冲突，就是要用理性去约束这个感性用中国的话来讲，就是存天理，去人欲。
不要有太多的欲望，要排除自己的欲望，然后来守住天理，这样的话你做事就很好。那么这个就是为什么朱子几次上书里都在表达这个意思。君主他是太多欲望了，所谓日理万机，你要正确的判断，才避免失误。但你一失误，那就是天下大乱，甚至于亡国灭种的。
Emperor Xiaozong was just as concerned about the situation. He was sincere when saying that he was terrified by the disasters and had been in a state of self-reflection and re-evaluation for days. But Zhu Xi was about to up the ante. In addition to tax adjustment, he also wanted the power to impeach officials directly during his inspection tour.
他自己已经很早，还没来之前，他已经意识到这个安插肯定会遇到风险，所以他面奏的时候，他特别讲的：你要给我这个安插的权，我要奏贺赈灾赈荒当中的一些官员。那个孝宗是同意的，他是得到了这一个尚方宝剑，所以他才下去弹劾那些不法的官吏。
Towards the end of the year, Zhu Xi assumed office. He soon realized that if he wanted to make the process of disaster relief smoother, removing corrupted officials would have to be his first step. In the first round of investigations, he impeached a number of local officials.
他一路上呢，其实就是要去调查那个灾荒的情况，以及地方官员在赈救灾荒的过程中表现得怎么样。所以呢，这样我们才会看到他一路走呢，一路都在弹劾这些人，而弹劾的这些呢，往往他会说到他们这个赈济灾荒不力呀、虚报这个情况啊等等的。所以这个呢，就是跟他的那个职任对他的这个要求呢有关系的。另外呢，当然也跟朱熹这个人他那种嫉恶如仇啊，也是有关系的。就是很多地方上的这些官员，对吧？面对着这个百姓的那种疾苦，好像无动于衷啊，这样的一些情况，也是他所觉得不能容忍的。
But Zhu Xi's belief that his actions would help catalyze political reform turned out to be naive. He forwarded a series of memorials demanding a reform in tax law and serious punishment for corruption. While agitated, he even wrote a long letter to Chancellor Wang Huai who recommended him for the position, criticizing Wang Huai's selfishness. Once again, Zhu Xi was playing with fire.
这个人啊，做宰相时候的时间最长，不肯下来，做了20多年了。一般嘛也做3、5年啊什么，他可以做这么长时间，到最后的话都已经是吧，老的上朝都走不动，是吧？这个上朝见这个孝宗的话，讲什么眼泪鼻涕都淌下来了，到这种地步了，他还不肯下来。
As the second round of inspection began, Zhu Xi went directly to Taizhou. The road leading there was packed with fleeing refugees, and one name he heard a lot among the many complaints he heard from them was that of Tang Zhongyou, the prefect of Taizhou.
他是台州的知府啊，实际上唐仲友也是当时呢是作为浙东的这个3大家之一，就是浙东学派啊3派之一啊。那么这个作为这个唐仲友呢，一家一门4进士啊，所以还是很有背景的。
他和当朝的宰相叫王怀是同乡。那么唐仲友的弟弟呢，娶了王怀的妹妹做妻子，所以他们2家呢就有姻亲的关系，那么又是同乡，所以这个关系可想而知了。
Before reaching Taizhou, Zhu Xi forwarded the first accusation against Tang Zhongyou. It was dereliction of duty during the disaster, except for tax gathering. Upon arriving in Taizhou, Zhu Xi forwarded his second accusation of Tang's forcible taxation that led to deaths of starved residents. 4 days later, he further charged Tang with corruption, joining cliques, harming people, obscenity, and embezzling tens of thousands of strings of coins.
他是这点是不考虑的，是不是得罪当时朝廷最有权势的宰相王家，是吧？他不考虑这一点，是吧？这个，因为他连皇帝都不怕得罪，是吧？这些权臣呢，当然他更不怕得罪。
他就是要把这个唐仲友啊，要弹劾到底，要把他弹倒，弹劾倒。你不把他弹劾倒，赈灾救灾没有办法进行了，他坚持。
2 months earlier, when Tang Zhongyou heard about Zhu Xi's arrival, he hid and destroyed Taizhou's fiscal records. However, Zhu Xi managed to find some of the original records, and his fourth charge detailed how Tang formed and profited from cliques, how he harmed people, and how he resorted to women of ill repute. Moreover, he pointed out that Tang was being shielded from justice by elements within the imperial court.
官官相辅啊，上下是吧，结成了一张官官相辅的网，你打不破的了。你弹劾这个官，他地方上有这个好强地主支持，上面呢还有朝廷的大官做靠山，那么朱熹他弹劾的话，弹劾不到了。
In the capital Lin'an, meanwhile, Zhu Xi's impeachment petitions were eagerly received by none other than Chancellor Wang Huai. Quick to see the potential consequences, Wang Huai withheld Zhu's second, third, and fourth written accusations, which detailed Tang's crimes. Instead, he presented only the first one to Emperor Xiaozong, along with Tang's Apologia. He was keen to explain away the whole episode as a mere tiff between 2 highly strung intellectuals. Almost immediately after the fourth petition, Zhu Xi sent the fifth, revealing that officials of all ranks worked in collusion with each other. Only this time, Zhu Xi sounded firmer. Condemn Tang or remove me. Back me or sack me. 4 days later, his options exhausted, Zhu Xi appended a request for dismissal.
上面没有任何回应啊！他当然我不能就此为止啊！我还要继续的写这个奏状啊！我要向你报告。当然最后王怀压不下来了，那才是给皇帝看。
于是他就把唐宗禹的前面的4个奏章就送给孝宗看的，讲了一句话，他说这个唐宗禹啊是主书学，苏东坡的学，朱熹呢是主程学，他们都是这个无谓的意气之争。因为宋孝宗他是好书学的，他吃透了这个宋孝宗的心理啊，讲的这个话。那么宋孝宗一看，哎呦，唐宗禹是主书学的嘛，你怎么去打个他？所以说，算了。
Back in the capital, Chancellor Wang Huai went further with his political tricks. He first transferred Tang to be presiding judge of Jiangxi. He then cancelled Tang's new title and gave it to Zhu Xi. It was a shrewd move. It would easily lead the public to think that Zhu Xi only kept on impeaching Tang to get the position of presiding judge of Jiangxi. However, despite all that happened, before he left Taizhou, Zhu Xi sent a 6th complaint. Again, he received no reply. It seemed that no charges would stick to Tang Zhongyou, the Teflon official. His Confucian dignity insulted, that autumn Zhu Xi tendered his resignation.
这有他很鲜明态度的，而这样的一些鲜明的态度，就是所谓的这个极恶扬善吧，什么是恶，什么是善，在他那儿是分得非常清楚的。我觉得这个呢，其实是反映着他那一代人，也可以说是那一代知识分子里的优秀的成员一种骨气，一种对于这个家国的这样的一种责任感。所以这个呢，我觉得倒是应该说是一种长久的人文精神吧。
A decade later, during the proscriptions of the Qingyuan era, some of Wang Huai's adherents invented a ridiculous story to demean Zhu Xi. It went as follows. Years ago, in order to pull down Tang Zhongyou, Zhu Xi locked Tang's courtesan Yan Rui away to get a forced confession. But Yan Rui would rather die than give in to the torture. This fictional story was later transformed into a scurrilous Ming Dynasty novel in which Zhu Xi was further demonized as a ruthless official and in which Yan Rui was hailed as a talented and virtuous lady.
那是地方的拜官野史，或者地方那种文学无聊文人发展出来的那种故事嘛。
实际上，在最初，在洪迈的《夷坚志》里就有记载。另外呢，祁东野语，这本书也有，这个他们都是宋代的。前面那个书是野史，而这个洪迈的呢，因为他的官职影响很大。洪迈的《夷坚志》讲是岳林来释放了他，而我们可以查遍当时的史书，还这个台州的官职任职表，岳林是没有当过这个职务的，没在这里当过，在这段时间根本没在这里当过，怎么可能去释放这个官妓呢？
宋代有本很负责任的笔记小说，叫做这个《四朝文件录》。这篇小说也记录了这件事情，但记录这件事情的时候，这个笔记小说就只字不提这个严磊的事情，他就知道这个东西完全是编造的。问题是到了明代，演绎了一个长长的小说，这篇小说呢 就把它演绎的呢有鼻子有眼了。于是呢，这个事情就变成真的了。
In the year 1188, the composition of the imperial court changed again. Wang Huai was removed from the chancellorship. Pro-Neo-Confucian officials were finally getting the upper hand. On the recommendation of the new chancellor, Emperor Xiaozong once again summoned Zhu Xi to Lin'an.
59岁他去的时候，路上人说：“你老先生这次去啊，千万再别讲那些你原来的那些道理了。皇帝要说正心诚意啊，是吧？说这些就别讲了。”所以说我不讲正心诚意，讲什么？讲的就是正心诚意，是吧？这个说我平生所学就是要讲这几个字，啊，就说明啊他的原则性是很强的，然后他是指导而行，他不是为了得君，是吧？就可以随意的妥协去逢迎，啊，这个他并不满意的那些政治方针。
That summer, 59-year-old Zhu Xi met Emperor Xiaozong for the third time. Emperor Gaozong Zhaogou had just passed away. Unlike the Emperor Zhu Xi had seen 25 years before, Xiaozong, now 62 years old and with a white beard, looked fatigued. Nevertheless, Zhu Xi had to speak his mind to his superior.
他认为这个天下的根本就在皇帝一心，皇帝一心不正，天下就不正。所以他要皇帝正心诚意，是吧？所以呢，他就是也是期望一个正心诚意的皇帝来治这个国家。
还有呢，他是很强调吏治，就是强调国家管理的好不好，这个吏治对这个国家的管理有很大的作用。就是说你选用的官员啊，是不是都是好的官员？另外呢，他强调社会风气，他认为要整顿社会风气，要让社会上的正气抬头，邪气要受到这个抵制。
But though the audience with the emperor seemed peaceful and harmonious, beneath the surface, another conflict was brewing. The next day, Emperor Xiaozong unexpectedly appointed Zhu Xi Minister of War. Reluctant to fall victim to another power struggle, Zhu Xi left Yinan in anger and headed for his home in the Wuyi Mountains. Zhu Xi had long thought that southern Song society was critically ill. If there was to be any hope for the future, a strong dose of medicine would be needed. But would the muddled emperor ever understand the true nature of the national malaise? Concerned yet tenacious, Zhu Xi calmed himself down and took out the 10,000-word article he had written 6 months earlier. He revised it carefully and sent it to Lin'an. It was the sealed memorial of the year 1188, a work that would have the old emperor burning the midnight oil. As the first long essay written since the Song's disastrous loss of its northern territories, it presented a thorough analysis of the political situation. But more than that, it also constituted a sort of digest of Zhu Xi's thoughts on governance.
那时候啊，皇帝已经就寝了，但是因为皇帝早就有跟太监交代，说朱夫子的奏折来，随时要告诉他，啊，按照实录的记载，皇帝已经就寝了，是连夜起来看戊申封事啊。
它不只是一个君臣之间的一个讲话，它背后还有一个礼，还有一个天理的一个礼对一个现实政治的这种批判转换，还有这层的意思。宋代事实上，我们也先认为中国的这种现代化、现代性应该从宋代开始来谈，因为从宋代开始才有那个知识分子当以天下为己任，历代都有忠臣，历代都有儒家型的知识分子，这个是没有错。可是，在宋代开始才会形成的时候， 一个人可以顶天立地，在他的生命底层就有那种内在资源，这从宋代以后形成。
就是那种先天下之忧而忧，后天下之乐而乐。其实像朱熹也是一个典型的代表人物。我觉得就是这样的一种精神，它不管是在什么时代里边，其实呢，它都是对后人有很强的这个激励的意义的。
As a matter of fact, by the time Emperor Xiaozong read the memorial, he had long been tired of politics and internal power struggles. A year later, he passed his throne to his son Zhao Duan. And 5 years later, Emperor Xiaozong himself passed away. Throughout his entire life, Emperor Xiaozong had wanted to recover the Central Plains, the lost territory, improve the administration, and develop the country. But in the end, it all proved too much for him. Zhu Xi's response to news of the death of Emperor Xiaozong was perhaps somewhat surprising. The philosopher who had spent most of his life criticizing the emperor could barely contain his sorrow.